Hi everyone, welcome back to Nancy Artwork, and today I will help you believe that you can draw. So I am starting up with very simple exercises. I'm going to work around with approximately 7 exercises today that will actually help you start working upon your hands and the way you look upon things, the way you can get inspired and draw the stuff. So these are basically the warm-up exercises which you can even do if you are an artist or you want to hit a big painting and you want to reduce the number of iterations. You can work upon these warm-up exercises before you hit a painting, or you can start with these exercises if you actually are not a painter, or you just have a passion to learn painting and you don't know from where to start from. So these are the exercises which I will recommend to anybody who want to start from scratch and lead in the direction of arts and believe that they all can draw. And with that, at the end of the video, I'm also going to share a tip. So stay tuned for that tip at the end of the video. So let's begin. To start up with the first exercise, before we start, we need to have some loose sheets like these. So I've taken basic A4 sheets and they are pretty loose, and you can even use the waste sheets you have and start up with this exercise. Okay, so the first exercise which I want you to take care is to deal with the hands movement. So it is like this. So we will practice how to move your hands to the outer direction, to the inner direction, so that you have a flexibility towards your wrist while drawing. Okay, so it's a very simple exercise. What I'm going to basically do is I'm using a black pen so that you can see it properly. I'm going to draw a small dot and then I'm going to stretch out these lines. Okay, so as you can see, what I'm actually doing is just stretching out random lines, from this point to outward direction. And here I'm not controlling my hand, it's just the free movement of my hand. So basically, again, I will do it for you guys. Okay, so this is the dot. If you will notice that when I am in my comfortable position of hand, my lines are quite well stretched. But as soon as I go in the opposite direction, you can see the waviness of these lines. Okay, so it is to practice the wrist of the hand so that it can move in all the directions properly. First exercise. Okay, this is the first exercise, and this will actually help you give a very good motion to the wrist. Second exercise is in the same circle. In the same circle, you need to work upon ovals or the circular shapes. Again, you need to be free hand and try as much as you can be in an appropriate circle. The more you will practice, the more you will get better. Okay, or you can do the vice versa. You can first prepare the circles, concentric circles. And then you can also do ovals. Try to keep your wrist stable and move your hand. Okay, and then make a dot and move outward outlines. Okay, now the third exercise. For third exercise, it's very simple. You just need to make two dots randomly on a piece of a paper and join them. And you don't have to wait and look that you are actually moving in the right direction. Like here, I was not sure, but I moved my hand. You have to do this very quickly. Start with smaller dots, smaller spaces between the dots, and then go to the far areas. You have to do this quite quickly and try to be as straight as you can between these lines. This will help you gain momentum while you're working with larger shapes and will also help you stabilize your hand to make straight lines. Fourth exercise. Fourth exercise is also one of the exercise which is very similar to this exercise, but then now you are not making simple ovals and simple circles. Now you are actually moving your hand in an 8 direction. So you can start working upon preparing some elabolas, or if you remember that in some science experiments you must have drawn the shapes of paramecium. It's something like that. Or you can also draw infinity. Just don't pick up your pen as much as you can make it. When you are comfortable, and move your elbow, okay, it should not be touching your surface, otherwise the movement of hand will not be complete. So you need to actually move up your elbow from the table and then work upon this like this. This is exercise number 4. Exercise number 4 and exercise number 5 is very much similar. Okay, for I'm using a pen, but you can use a pencil. Why I'm using a pen? So that you can see the contrasting lines well on a white paper, but you can also choose to work upon with a pencil. And in that case, now you don't have to work upon placing your pencil like this the way we usually do it. Now you have to do it a little different. You have to put your pencil like this in your hand and start working upon simple shapes, like geometrical shapes like circle, and make it couple of times. Start making these geometrical shapes. Okay, now the purpose of this exercise. Okay, the purpose of this exercise is that we people are very much comfortable working like this, and when you're working on a very big canvas, this movement of hand restricts to you to work upon only on small spaces. But when you are holding the pen like this, then you are able to move the elbow completely to the surface you want to work upon, and this movement actually allows you to cover the larger space. So in the start you will feel a little uncomfortable that I can make a good square with holding the pen like this, but I am asking you to do it like this. You have to have a pencil nib over here and then start working upon your simple basic shapes, maybe triangle, and make it couple of times so that your hands get into a motion of working upon that particular shape, so that when you have to work upon larger canvases, your hand know how to work. Then you can simply start working upon cylindrical shapes. So I will say that this is your exercise number 5. And you can basically, instead of doing this, you have to do it this way. Okay, so this was exercise number 5. Let's move to exercise number 6. Now, 6 exercise is a very simple exercise. You can in fact make this a 6 exercise, this a 5 exercise. I have just altered the sequence a little because we were doing the same thing, so it is easy to remember. Now we are going to work upon lines, but they are parallel or angular lines. Okay, so this is the way we are going to work upon. So you see here my line is not a parallel, so it's not correct. So I have to work something like this. I will try that my all the lines are as much parallel as they can, and I have to reduce the spacing in between them, and still they should not collapse into each other. Okay, so I'm doing it like this. Try to do with the both movements. You can also practice it like this in the start. Okay, and when you are doing this very fast, this exercise is called hatching. Okay, this exercise is called hatching, and when you do the cross lining quickly with parallel lines, this is called cross hatching. So this is called hatching, and this is called cross hatching. Okay, and this technique is generally used when you are preparing shadows. Okay, so now the 7th exercise and the last exercise which I'm going to work upon today is combining my 5th and 6th exercise, which is making shapes. Like, let's prepare a cubical shape. So this is the way I actually prepare a simple cube. Okay, and you can start working upon simple shapes of 3 figures. Okay, a square, and then start working upon hatching lines. Like maybe you do it this way, and then if you do it this way, so it's like your sunlight is coming from here and you're trying to prepare a shadow, so it will be from here to here. And you can also work upon cross hatching of these lines, which gives a shadow effect. But basically the idea is to start working and combining simple shapes into 3D shapes, which gives you an illusion for perspective. Okay, so this is the 7th exercise, and you can not just stop over here, you can also work upon cylindrical shapes. You can be a little slow and steady, not a worry, and then you can start working, maybe thinking that this way the light is coming, and this is the illusion it is creating by hatching lines or by cross hatching. You can also work upon cubicles. You can also work upon cone, and then start working upon in one direction. Okay, and the more you will prepare your shapes bigger, the more your hand will become flexible. So in the start of your time, you can also use a newspaper to draw as big as you can. See, couple of days when you're practicing this for 10 minutes, then increase it by 15, 20, 30. You will see that your shapes are coming out very stable, and your hand is feeling much more comfortable in the initial 10 minutes exercises, initial days 10-minute exercises, your hand will feel a little stiff and it will get tired also. But with the course of a week, you will feel that your hand is getting comfortable. You are not having any pain in the elbow or in the wrist while moving, and then you will start working upon the things. Okay, so with the start of this series, I'm also going to pick up some simple shapes. So with the end of these 7 exercises, the hair, I will also tell you that these simple exercises can help you make some complex shapes. Let me just pick one of them for you. Okay, so basically what today, with the end of these exercises, I am going to start up with making you realize that these exercises actually work. When you are comfortable with the hand movements, you will pick any random shape around you. So for this today's example, I am picking up this shape. So if you will see at the first point in time, any person who don't know how to work or draw will find this shape a little complex. Okay, but if you will think upon simpler shapes between this complex composition, it will be quite easy. So when I see this shape, I don't see this as a bottle in first go. I see this that these are some squares whose edges are rounded, and then there is a semicircle whose edge is open. Then there is a rectangle over it. Okay, and after that I will join all these shapes. So what I'm basically trying to do is, I'm seeing that there is a tilted square first. Then I feel that the edges are round, so I'm just going to make these edges a little round. Okay, and then I see that there is a semicircle over it. This shape, this particular shape is a semicircle. This is a semicircle. Okay, and then with a cut, there is again a square on it, and then there are certain lines over it. Okay, now if I go about with a thicker shape, okay, let me just pick another pen for you guys now. Okay, now if I just join these lines, so this is a curvy line over here, and now I just join the outer lines. So you can easily draw a complex shape, breaking them down into some simpler shapes. And now what you need to do is just remove or erase these lines. But now as you know, for this tutorial I'm working with pen, so I'm not able to remove it. Slowly and slowly, gradually and gradually, your eyes will start understanding what are the simpler shapes into a complex shape. Okay, there is one more exercise attached to it, but I think for today it will become a little complex if I will attach this to the same tutorial. I'm going to work upon a second series, part of this series, and there we will understand how to train your eyes to work upon complex shapes and see simpler shapes into it, and then join them and make beautiful arts. I hope these simple exercises would really help you in the long run and you would have enjoyed them. Before I leave this video, I have a tip in the description box. There is a TED talk from Graham Shaw. Yes, he's a great illustrator, and in this TED talk he actually makes you believe that you can draw. Without a further ado, please click on that link and try and check it out. It's not a paid video, it's just what I saw, and I really wanted to connect with you guys to make you believe that you can draw. And I practiced and I saw these exercises were really simple, and I wanted to share it with them, you guys. Okay, so and the last thing and a last small request before I go, please subscribe my channel and share my channel to all the people who have a passion but don't know how to start with the arts. I'm there for them. You can connect with me anytime and you can leave a simple question in the comment section below. I'm very active on my Instagram channel. I will directly connect with you or answer your queries. Thank you.